Hello and welcome back to the Bars Football Review. I'm Jake. I'm joined by Lewis and Cameron today, and we're going to be talking about the end of the season, the end of the Premier League season. Final day has just happened, and we're going to start with Man City winning the league again because is it getting boring? Is it getting boring? They won I'd say pretty comfortably against West Ham,
Yeah, I
which
mean, you got to
basically made
give
it.
credit for four in a row is no one's ever done that before. You got to give credit for that first and foremost.
Yeah,
But
I mean, yeah,
yeah,
it's
I mean,
it's
it is
just
getting a bit boring, isn't it? I mean,
You would
what
say that
six
as
after
even
what? I mean,
nonsense.
well, come on. I mean, it is six out of the last seven, isn't it? Four in a
yeah,
row. Like, I mean, that for a league where people say, I mean, it's the most competitive league, but I mean, it's getting a bit stale, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, I agree.
I
I
think what I
just
would say is that it did go down to the final game this
Yeah,
season.
I mean, give
So
credit
I
to
don't really
Arsenal.
know
It
how
was
you could
actually a
find that.
tight race.
I mean, you know, the title wasn't decided until the literal final match day. It wasn't a case of City ran away with it and had it won by the start of April. It was, the
Yeah.
last game. But yeah, I mean, the same team is winning it, but end of the day, it's because they are the best team.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take anything away from City. I think they are just far and away the best. I mean, I'd be one of the best teams we'll ever see, really.
yeah.
Definitely up there. Yeah, there's been lots of discussions about, where does Pep rank? Where does this City team rank? I mean, arguably, it's not even the best City team that Pep's had. I mean, arguably, the one with Aguero,
Mhm.
David Silva, company was better. Arguably, I mean,
The
the 100
the
points,
100
didn't they? I
points team. Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
what did they finish on this season? 91 was it? So they
yeah,
were a good
91.
3 wins off that this season. And I mean, City weren't even at their best this season. That's the annoying thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
how
that
how
that's
does
what it is for
how
me.
do
It's like,
Arsenal close that gap? How do they, you know, Arsenal pretty much were
Get
flawless, other
get
than
taken over by a country.
no, but I don't
Then
think
they
it's a
can
question of money with Arsenal, is it? They lost a few games they shouldn't have lost over Christmas, especially Fulham away, West Ham at home.
they need more depth. Man United have
mm,
Man United. Man
yeah, I
City
wish.
Man United definitely don't have the depth. Man
Nope.
City have the depth. I mean, like what how much have they spent on their bench over recent years? Like, can they spend 50 million on like Mateus
Mhm.
Nunes and he's barely played? Like they spent a lot on
Yeah,
Calvin Phillips as well, and he's done nothing since he's been there.
Yeah,
but then
You say it's not a,
Haaland and De Bruyne were injured for large parts of the season.
and then
I
they
mean,
have
yeah,
world
but
class
they have
players
the
to
but they
just
have the
slot in
depth.
and fit in.
yeah, they do, and that's
That's
why
what it is.
they've won 6 and 7 because part of football is injuries, and if you haven't got, you know, Arsenal's strongest 11 is a great side, but take out, you know, Odegaard, I think's big. Take out
I
one
mean,
of the
just
centre
look at
backs.
last season, right? You take out Saliba and they crumbled towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, but are you worried about this period of domination? I mean, how much longer do you think Pep's going to stay there?
Um,
Well, I mean, didn't he just say
Yeah,
beyond this
2020. So
contract
he's got
that
one
there's
year.
no guarantees?
I mean, he said that last contract as well, though, didn't he?
yeah, he did. Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
I mean,
I was gonna
true,
say
but I
he
mean,
hasn't
at
said
this
that
He
point,
before.
like,
plays
I
the
mean,
game to get a bigger contract, doesn't he?
what else can he win at Man City? Like, he won everything you could possibly imagine winning.
I think if he leaves Man City, the only way he'll go after that
I think
is
he
into
goes to,
international.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
So there's nothing else, as you said, there's nothing else for him to win really. Like, well, he's going to win the Serie A. Like, oh, big deal. I just don't think. Yeah,
Maybe a
I
challenge,
hope
maybe like a big, maybe bringing someone back. Going back to Barca and
maybe.
you know, great,
I
making them
I just
force
don't,
again, or
I just don't see Barca being able to afford
I
it.
mean, yeah, I mean,
Juventus, or back to Bayern, bringing them back. But yeah, I mean, the motivation for him now is a dynasty, isn't it? It's You know, can you replicate what Ferguson did? Can he get to 13? Can he surpass 13? That might be on his mind.
If he does do that, then just like it's just not going to be fun.
I mean, he's done 6 in, is it 8 years? I think it is.
Yeah.
Because he didn't win it the first year, and then he's won 6 in 7. So he's won 6 in 8 years. So if he repeated that, he'd get to, 12.
I don't see any situation where over the next, like, let's say 5 years, if Pep is in charge of Man City, I don't see a situation where they don't win the league. They're gonna win it, as long as he's in charge. They will win the league. Like that's
the only time they
anyway.
haven't won the league is when Liverpool were literally flawless, and his first season when he didn't have the players that he wanted. That's the only time they haven't won it.
That was when Leicester won the league, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
City were, they had like Jesus Navas at right back, and they weren't great.
Still finished. Didn't they finish third that season?
I think they finished third, yeah.
Something like that.
No, they finished fourth, I think.
No, fourth. We finished third in a 2-horse race.
Tottenham finished third, yeah. I think that's a bit disrespectful on Jesus Navas, to be fair.
No, but come on, he's not up to the standards that, decent player, but not a Pep player.
Decent. You just called him a decent player.
They had Fernando in midfield, I remember. Like
they're all severe now, aren't they?
Kolarov trying to play Pep ball, it just didn't work.
Kolarov played centre back for a while for them.
Exactly.
Even though he was like a fullback.
But congrats to City. They were the best team this season. And the alternative this season would have been Arsenal, and I don't want that. So I can't really.
I wouldn't have minded that.
I would have preferred it over City.
Yeah, of course, but you understand why I wouldn't want that. Jake would never want Wolves in the league, for example.
What is this? What is this like? Why do you think I hate Wolves? I don't hate Wolves.
Yeah. Lots of Bournemouth fans do, though.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
It's nasty on
Twitter. I don't think Bournemouth fans can get nasty.
Oh, they can, trust me. Especially when it comes to Gary O'Neill.
Right, okay.
So are we bored? Jake, bored of City winning
the league or this podcast?
Yeah, are you bored of the league in terms of the title? Do you really care?
In terms of the title, yeah. It's just like everyone knows that at the second half of the season, City are going to win every single game, and they're not going to drop any points.
It was a decent title race, though, right? Like it wasn't bad.
What?
Or was it just? Is it just that feeling of inevitability with City, where we have a title race, but we all know at the end City are going to win.
Once Arsenal lost to Villa,
we all knew, didn't we?
It was obvious.
Yeah.
There was no way that
if they win that game, they win the league. Given all results stayed the same, but
I think it's more boring because there's very rarely any slip ups. Like City didn't slip up at all. If there were more slip ups and both teams like dropped points here and there, then I think it would be a lot more exciting. But like it was kind of like, well, City, oh, they've won again, oh, they've won again, oh, they've won again. Like you just go into every week just knowing that it's not going to change.
There isn't an inevitability about City that I don't think any other team has, where you just kind of, I'm shocked if they don't win. That's kind of where we're at now. I'm shocked when they don't win.
And it's the same, not this season, but it's the same as it has been with Bayern and PSG over the last 10 years, where you're just shocked when they don't win. And it's like, we always have mocked those leagues for being farmers leagues, and now it's just the same with us.
But do you have to just admire what they're doing? Because it's not easy to win 4 leagues in a row. No matter how much money you spend, no matter if you're doing it legally, forget any of that. To win 4 league titles in a row is something to be admired. Pep, I mean, Klopp's left Liverpool because he's shattered. and you've got Pep, who's just winning league, making it look easy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
you're not wrong.
ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous. But yeah, we'll move on. We'll move on.
Should we move on to another manager leaving? You've just mentioned
Yeah,
Klopp.
we'll move on to the manager fun and games of the summer. Poch being sacked. I was actually very surprised Poch got sacked.
Same.
When
So
I
was
heard
I,
it
yeah.
because
Same.
they finished really strong. I mean, sixth place finish, not the worst. Obviously, I know Chelsea are a club that are used to winning league titles, but considering they were hovering kind of mid-table for the majority of the season, they
And
really
also
did
considering
kind of.
last season as well.
I mean, it was supposedly mutual agreement, right? So whether there's
Yeah.
some sort
So
of
yeah, when we say
disagreement that's gone on
yeah.
there, you know.
Well, from what I've read and understand, it was about transfers. Apparently, Todd Bowley and his consortium want to sell Conor Gallagher for financial reasons.
Which I don't understand at all, because he's been one of their best players this season.
Pochettino is not happy to sell Gallagher, and that's apparently the main reason why he's left.
I mean, that's understand because it seems like a baffling decision. I don't know why you even entertain an offer for Gallagher.
Well, they're saying because he's homegrown, he came through the academy, so any sale of him is pure profit. That's the reason why.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
so it will balance the
book. Is their financial position that bad that they need to make that move right now?
Yeah, did you not? I mean, they've spent like £1 billion in like 2 seasons.
Oh, right, yeah, true.
The thing is, like, they've spent so much. I don't think just selling Conor Gallagher's gonna solve any problems. Because he's good.
You need to do more, surely.
Consistently good this season, but
but it's relative to what you bring in, isn't it? So they might only need to sell a couple of players to meet the rules, because it's all no club's the same. It's how much you can spend is relevant to how much you bring in. You know, I think you can spend something like 100 million. Was it 300 million? I don't know exactly, but you can. There's a certain amount of money you can spend over your revenue.
It's like, I think it's the amount that you're allowed to. It might be, we might be talking about different rules, but it's like the amount of losses that you're allowed to.
Yeah, like, I think it's like 100 million or something like that.
It's 100, and it's depending on how many of the last 3 seasons you've been in the Premier League for. So teams that come up from the Championship are allowed to lose less, which I don't think makes sense, because surely you have to spend more to stay in the Premier League if you've just been promoted. But I mean,
who do we see at Chelsea then next season in the dugout?
I'll just go follow a trend and say Zerbi.
Zerbi, that's a downgrade in my opinion, but
I mean, I agree.
It feels like McKenna's the front runner right now, doesn't it?
I just don't get that. Apparently, they're looking at Thomas Frank as well, which I don't get.
I saw that.
There seems to be a real absence of top managers. That's what I've got from all these rumours.
Yeah.
But Cameron, coming to Brighton, obviously you follow them closely. A lot of Brighton fans aren't surprised that he's left.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it comes down to is Brighton. Well, I mean, De Zerbi, he wants to win trophies, and he's got, he has his style of play, he's got his vision, and I mean, he needs resources to do that, really. And Brighton's philosophy is not budging from what it's been for quite some time, where they
I saw
look for,
from the chairman that said they're not prepared to buy the finished article, basically.
Yeah, they look for young talent.
They look for young talent and develop it. They're not going to go out and buy someone who's. They're not going to go out and buy an Eze or an Elise. That's just not what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But there was some reference to comments De Zerbi made after Roma. Did he come? I think he came out strongly against the chairman or the club.
I can't remember. I don't know if you've got the quotes.
4-0. So it seems like it was kind of inevitable that he wouldn't be there next season.
I mean, he's been pretty vocal for quite some time that he hasn't felt supported by the board and isn't getting what he wanted. He wanted certain players in the transfer window, didn't get it. So I mean, it did feel pretty inevitable.
How long's he been there? Is it like 2 years?
2 years now.
I don't mean to interrupt you guys, but I've just checked my phone and I've seen a news story that's just broken. And it says Manchester United have decided to sack Eric Ten Hag after the FA Cup final.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's just been
I saw
announced.
that yesterday.
Who's that? Who put that out? Is that like a
someone from the Guardian?
Oh, okay. Wow. So that's probably.
Well, it's not like.
I mean, it's not exactly surprising. We can go into that as well.
Yeah, it's not surprising, but I mean, it's.
But I mean, I mean, to be fair, announcing it before the final is a pretty weird move, you know. I mean, obviously we saw with Van Gaal that he got sacked pretty much right after, but announcing it before
they might be trying to give him an incentive, maybe. It's like, it's your last game, like do everything you can to win the game, win the trophy.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's just not.
But
it's not going to
surely, in his mind, he will be thinking, well, "There's no point."
I mean, yeah,
even if I win the trophy, I'm still gone. Like, there's no point.
Yeah, but would he not think of it as like an advert for himself for his next job? If he beats City, I mean, that's the last thing owners remember of Ten Hag. Oh, he just beat City in the FA Cup final. Let's hire him. You know. So there's always a reason to.
I mean, you can spin it like that, I get, but I just think that's not going to put the right attitude in Ten Hag's mind. I don't think the day before the final.
Well, we sacked Mourinho before the cup final, so.
But I mean, was it the day before though? Like,
it was a few days before. We thought Ryan Mason would get one over Pep Guardiola.
I don't know. Wow, that's
quite funny.
It's weird. But I guess that makes our Man United talk a little bit more relevant if we're going to go into managers.
Yeah. I mean, if you bought in McKenna, I think. I mean, it could be like
I think McKenna would be a big downgrade. I mean, I just don't think he's ready for a top club in the Premier League.
I mean, I've not followed Ipswich.
I mean, what they've done is great, right? But for a top team in the Premier League, like it's just a big jump.
We've seen this year, Burnley dominated the Championship. When they came up, they came to the Premier League and they really struggled. You know. Yeah.
It's just I think the McKenna, like everyone thinking, oh, McKenna's going to be really good. It's just English bias. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because he's like, although actually, he might be like, I don't even know, he might be Northern Irish or something.
British bias, yeah.
British bias. Because like you look at like Premier League / British bias, because managers who are ex-players who are really good in the Premier League, like Vincent Kompany, for example, they seem to get like even if they perform badly, they're like, oh, but they're still good or whatever. They get overrated so highly. Like,
Jake, I mean, you come up with Burnley, you get relegated, and you get linked with the Bayern job. So, you know, who's laughing?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So who's going
to United?
I want some predictions from you both.
Okay.
Chelsea, Brighton, United. Who's in the dugout next season?
I think Brighton will be McKenna.
I agree with that.
I think Chelsea will be Zerbi.
Mm.
And I really want to say United is Southgate, but I know it won't be. I'm going to go with Allegri, I think, for United.
Okay.
Interesting.
I feel like United with Ineos now and Jim Ratcliffe, I feel like they wouldn't appoint someone unless they've got a bit about them. They've got experience. I don't feel like this new board would appoint a McKenna at this stage.
Or even a Zerbi, I think.
Or even a Zerbi.
I think they would go for a Zerbi. I think what he's done with Brighton.
I don't get
you give him resources.
I don't get this Zerbi hype. I really don't. The United job or Chelsea job. There's no way. No.
I think I'm with Cameron. I think he could go to either United or Chelsea.
Brighton had a shocking season.
Yeah, but I think you can point to so many factors behind that besides Zerbi. I mean, the injuries, the lack of resources, like European football. I mean, when it worked for De Zerbi at Brighton, like it really works. And I think
it worked for a season. He did all right for a season, and then he just gave up.
They won their Europa League group pretty comfortably as well.
Yeah, against the poor Ajax side.
I think you give him top club resources, and I think he could do a fantastic job.
That's the only caveat is what could he do with a big budget? He'll have to take the opportunity if he gets given it.
Mm-hmm.
I could see
Pep Guardiola's given him very high praise in recent times.
He's praise Guardiola. He's won 4 in a row, mate. He's too happy.
He gave Iraola high praise when he
He's got so much dopamine on his
brain. And look at what Iraola's done.
Yeah, great manager.
Iraola to Man United.
No,
Get it done.
We've tied him down. We've tied him down for another 2 years.
Swap Ten Hag to Bournemouth. That's his level.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Relegation.
No, we're better than Ten Hag. We're better than Ten Hag.
All right. I think who's the Luton manager?
Rob Edwards.
I've seen people linking him to Brighton.
I think he's going to stay. I think he's staying at Luton.
Has he not earned himself another Premier League team?
No, but I think he gets them promoted next season again. I think they come back up. Yeah,
they're going to be a yo-yo club going up and down.
Yeah, I don't want to make any like early championship predictions or anything, but I think Luton probably will come up again.
Javi's been sacked as well, so he's available.
What's he saying? He's going to Luton or something? He's going to be the next Luton manager.
I'm just saying he's another manager who's going to be available.
Yeah,
with Tuchel, Mourinho.
He'll go to Bayern.
What about? Would you take Graham Potter back, Cameron?
Graham Potter at
take him back
Potter at United. Take him back.
No, at Brighton.
Oh, at Brighton.
I've seen a few people think
would be the worst thing in the world.
Because apparently he still lives in Brighton.
Does he? It's interesting. I mean, I could see it happening.
I wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. It's going to be a weird stage for Brighton. I think that they might have a bit of. I mean, there's been talk that quite a few players might not want to stay now that De Zerbi's gone.
David Moyes.
So that could be David Moyes at Brighton.
The difference in style of play would be mad.
Going from De Zerbi to David Moyes.
That'd be.
I think Brighton fans would be quite happy about that.
You don't? Okay.
Behind the scenes, though.
Just throwing it out there.
that would be.
What about Iraola?
What, to Brighton?
Yeah.
Why? That's a sideways step, bro.
It's a slight upgrade, I'd say.
We finished on the same number of points.
Yeah, but bigger stadium.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I forgot that's really important, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is quite important, yeah.
It really isn't. I think
a bigger stadium,
Premier League,
more ticket sales, higher revenues. You get to spend more on players.
Wow. I think us being in Premier League for like the 7 of the last 9 seasons. I think it's something like that.
Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. What should we talk about next? Any burning desires? FA Cup final? Do you want to talk about FA Cup final, Cameron? I mean,
is there any point?
It's so much to say.
I mean, last one
City are going to win. Last one was what?
Last year? 2-1, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2-1.
And as long as you don't concede in the first 20 seconds this time.
First 12 seconds.
First 12 seconds. Then, stay in the game for 12 seconds and you might have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm even less confident now after that Ten Hag news than I was before. I mean, I think that just puts a sour taste in everybody's minds. Like before the final, got Foden who's playing out of his mind right now. I mean, it's not going to be pretty. United.
I saw some tactical analysis that you didn't play with a striker against Brighton in the last game.
I mean, Højlund was on the pitch.
So, he came on as a sub, Højlund, but you didn't play with a striker.
But to start off with,
yeah, and I've seen that.
I can't even remember what our lineup was.
It's like a free trial for the FA Cup final. But he's not going to play with a striker. He's going to play Garnacho, maybe Bruno in the 10, and then whoever on the
considering
right.
we didn't score against
maybe.
Brighton until like the 78th minute, that's a bit of a baffling move against Manchester
Diallo's
City.
got a start, hasn't he?
Has to. I mean, he's looked great the past few weeks.
Diallo, Garnacho, Bruno, Mainu. Casemiro cannot be at centre back.
That's he might have
on
to
the pitch. He might
have.
I've seen Lindelof might be coming back.
But he might risk Varane or Martinez, one of them.
This is last game of the manager, he might as well.
Yeah, got to play Varane. I mean, he's gone anyway, and he said, why not?
Yeah, get your money was worth out of him. That last week's wages.
There's another game happening this weekend, quite big in there.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Championship playoff final.
Yeah,
Leeds versus Southampton. Big game.
I've had to do quite a bit of research for a preview, so I know all the stats. It's gonna be
a more interesting game than the other one.
It should be a really good game, yeah. I mean, 3 points separated them in the league. They're both scoring lots of goals, both pretty exciting to watch. Southampton kind of play a bit more of a possession kind of style, whereas Leeds are a bit more of that kind of heavy metal, Klopp kind of pressing and kind of style. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, what you would say is that Leeds have never won a playoff final, so the history is not really on their side. But them kind of records are there to break, right? So, and I do actually like Daniel Farke. I'm a big fan of his. I like the way he carries himself. I know, I know. You don't agree how managers act is really that important, but I think it is because they're kind of the custodians of the club while they're there. We see the impact that Klopp has and these top managers. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Who do you think will win?
Well, I've got a lot of Southampton friends, so I'm going to have to say Southampton. Otherwise, I'll be getting some angry text messages after this, or whenever this goes live. You?
Who I think will win?
Leeds are without Bamford. He's probably not going to play.
Difficult. I want Southampton to win over Leeds.
You want? This isn't about what you want, Jake. It's about what you think.
I have no idea.
The most likely outcome.
It's too close to call, but I think I'll go with Southampton. I'll go with Southampton.
Yeah, 90 minutes, extra time, penalties.
I think 90 minutes. It will be like 3-2 or something.
Oh, high scoring game, Cameron. What do you reckon?
Southampton in extra time.
In extra time. I'm going to go Saints on penalties.
So we've all gone Southampton, but all different, different ways. Interesting.
Poor Leeds. They just can't catch a break, can they?
Don't say poor Leeds. No one likes Leeds.
If they don't go up automatically, they don't go up. That's been the trend.
But they shouldn't have lost 4-0 to QPR.
True. Any final thoughts then? Any final?
Well, I mean, since we're talking about the Championship, what do you guys think of Vincent Company to Bayern Munich?
Bizarre.
Looks like. I mean, I'm just baffled by
that. Whoever's making the decision of Bayern this season is a Dortmund fan. Only a Dortmund fan at Bayern would buy Eric Dyer.
Would buy Eric Dyer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been terrible, but played well against Arsenal.
Yeah,
but he's not a Bayern Munich player. If he's not good enough for Tottenham, then he's not good enough for Bayern. Yeah, bizarre. If Company goes to Bayern, then I don't know what manager merits are anymore. I don't know. You can get relegated and get promoted, but it seems like philosophy is more important than results now.
Yeah, it feels
as long as you've got a way of playing, no matter how poor the results are. I mean, they might be thinking that his the style of play is good. He just needs the quality of player. I'm sure they've got tactical analysts and all this that they might say, The football's good. He just doesn't have the quality of player. Bring him here with the quality of player we have. Gnabry, Mane, Musiala.
I think that's fair for some managers, right? I mean, because that's half of my thinking with Zerbi. But I mean, can you really apply that to Company the way that Burnley have played this season?
No, I think it's been naive this season with Company.
Yeah,
he's played a style that he knew would get he knew would get him relegated, but he also knew people would admire him for it, and it's worked because obviously Bayern are falling for it, and he could go there and Bayern could win the league. That's Bayern are Bayern. I'm sure they'll bounce back, but they finished third for the first time in I don't know how long, so they need to do something drastic.
Yeah.
But we've run out of time, lads. So thanks for joining me. Obviously, I know we haven't had a podcast in a few weeks because we've been busy with the joys of exams and assignments. But thanks for listening.